This is Film Trigger. Stevie Cade.
I don't need breast implants. I lost 90 pounds. I have my own kids.
Seth Draven.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever gotten.
Ramon from Hit or Miss TV.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my hair bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47. Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
I didn't mean to do that. I keep doing it. Hello, everybody.
What?
Hello, everybody.
Why do you always say everybody like that?
Because I want to. Actually, I don't know.
Nice.
Oh,
Hi,
you know what? I do know what it is.
What's that?
Who here watches The Simpsons, or did at some point in time watch The Simpsons?
I've watched a few episodes.
I believe it's the doctor on The Simpsons. I believe he looks at people and he goes, "Hello, everybody."
That's exactly what he does.
Yeah,
Exactly
I
like
think
that.
that's where I never even thought about it until you asked me. But I believe that's where
now
I got
you've
it
just
from.
done it. Now
Yeah.
you've just done it. It's making me think. Yeah, that was that guy, and you
That
got
was
it
that
right.
guy.
Like that was it.
That was
Nice
that
one.
guy.
If I was just walking past the room and heard that, and I'm like, that's that TV show.
The Simpsons are on. Yeah.
Yeah, Simpsons. Yeah.
All right. Well, as we just said, hello, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Very good. Thank you. Very
Seth
good.
Draven is with us. What's up, buddy?
Nothing.
He's like, I don't know. Hey,
This guy, telling you the stories he's
Roman
been,
from
story-
Etormis TV.
the story Seth's been telling us backstage, what he's been doing this
know.
week is insane. This guy, I don't know how he does it all.
He's
I don't know
insane.
how he
I'm
does
not
it
gonna. I'm not gonna air his dirty laundry out there or anything. But man, hookers in Cancun, man. You gotta ask Seth about that story.
You think
if you ever meet him in person.
You think Steve-O from Jackass is crazy? This guy. Woo!
Yeah, he puts the ass in Jackass.
What does that even mean?
You'll
nice.
you'll figure it out.
Be nice to Seth.
Gentlemen, welcome to our Thursday edition of Drive-By News, where we're just gonna go over a couple of things, discuss some stuff, and I know we got to I know we're all eager to get the show over with so we can go to Morbius, go watch the Morbius. What are you doing?
He's drinking out of his Pinocchio cup.
I was actually going to say, what's his name from the Seven Dwarfs? I thought it was that one, the one with the green hat. It's not, is it? It's
No, that's Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Yeah, his nose grows every time he tells a lie.
It's not
What
true.
if-
I
what-
spoke.
Hmm?
It's not true. It doesn't grow. I spoke to Zack Snyder and he said it doesn't.
Oh, we could always ask the infamous question. You know what I'm talking about, Seth?
Yeah, I know. I that's what I was gonna bring up.
Yeah. If you look at Pinocchio, bring it up. I can't remember now.
If Pinocchio says my nose will grow now, it
What
will
happens?
cause a paradox.
Yeah. What will happen?
Well, because if he's lying, then his nose will grow. But
If his
if
nose grows,
then he
won't be
wasn't lying.
Right. He won't be lying.
But then if he wasn't lying, then his nose wouldn't grow. But then he's
Then we could-
lying.
That's
Yep.
And I've gone cross-eyed. Okay.
they should make a multiverse of Pinocchio. That would be good.
Oh man, speaking
Pinocchio,
of multiverse,
No Way Home.
I can't wait. What's I know Everything Everywhere All at Once is like freckled out in theaters. I think the only one anywhere near us is like in the main downtown. But
Yeah.
is it April 8th? Is that when it goes all national?
I have no idea when this movie comes out. Hold on.
I think it's April 8th. I cannot wait to go see this movie. I am so eager
It's
to
out
see
over
it.
here,
Is it?
I think. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's out here
because-
too, but it's
Well, yeah, it's here, but it's a limited release. It will go full
Right,
release,
right.
I believe, on April
Okay.
8th.
I can't find anything about it. But
It's weird. Okay. All right. Well, first of all, guys, I do want to ask you.
Yeah.
So, why isn't anyone going to see Morbius? Have you seen Morbius, Seth?
absolutely not.
Ramon, have you seen Morbius?
Brilliant movie.
Brilliant
10
movie.
times.
He says.
It was so much better than I thought it was going to be. It had all of these terrible reviews, and it's really not that bad. So I would say that people should go and see it and make it up their own minds about the movie for sure.
All right. Whoa, God. What am I doing? Okay. Hi, there we are.
There we go.
All right. So Morbius' first reactions, besides Ramon's opinion, which I don't know if he actually saw it or not because he likes to troll us all the time.
I've not seen it.
I knew you didn't see it.
The first
Except
reactions,
those.
first reactions are not good, and not good is playing it kind of lightly.
Yeah, it is.
People are saying this movie sucks, like it's terrible. Variety came out with an article saying that Morbius' first reaction, Jared Leto Marvel film, is sloppy. It sucks more than just blood.
What does that mean?
Well, it means the movie sucks dick too, apparently. So,
Yeah,
not
but
that
what?
there's anything wrong with that.
Okay,
What
because I was thinking like, what does the more mean?
sucks more than just blood?
Yeah, so if it sucks out all the blood, then what does it do after then? 'Cause if
It
there's no
sucks
blood-
your soul and your time from your life. That's
And
what
the
it
money
sucks.
out of your wallet. you
Yeah,
probably spent on that
exactly.
movie.
There's three other things it sucks.
Okay, yep, I'm down with that.
I'm reading Rotten Tomatoes views right now. They're funny.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, what are they
dear.
saying?
This one says, unless your ticket is free, don't bother. This movie is as lifeless as the bodies Morbius drains and throws on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying it's like a movie from like 2003 that it was released now.
Yeah.
It falls
Yeah.
into like that Daredevil category.
Weird. It's so weird that they've had so much time with this movie to make this movie great. Like it was supposed to come out in what, 2019 or something?
2020, July 2020 was the original release date. The first trailer for this movie came out over 2 years ago. I think it was January 2020 is when the first trailer for this came out. And I'm not going to get into it, obviously, but the director spoiled the movie like last week. Like,
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they full on spoiled the movie. Like,
Yeah.
they explained what the post-credit scenes were. They explained what universe this takes place in. They explained like why Michael Keaton's in the movie. Like they went like into the spoilers, and Sony was like promoting that interview. Like it was weird.
Oh, Aaron White says, "What's up, gentlemen? Just started work at Taco Bell. Have a good show." All right, Aaron, thanks for stopping by.
Can I
doing a
have
drive
that?
by? Hello, he did. Yes, Ramon.
Is that nice, Taco Bell? Is it nice?
No.
No.
Not
Well,
really.
I mean, it's not. Listen, it depends on your state of mind. If you have a drink, if you're pretty
I'm with
buzzed,
ya. I got ya.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell's the place
Yeah,
to
you're
go.
like, oh, I need food. Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco
Yeah,
Bell.
like-
You're like, I want. Imagine
Right.
I know you don't know Mexican cuisine or anything like this, but like, imagine like a really good Italian restaurant. Do you have really bad Italian restaurants? Like Italian restaurants are just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, Taco Bell is like that of Mexican food.
Okay.
All right, it's a fast food chain, and like,
right.
Their beef their beef is like.
Not real.
Not well. It's partly real and then like partly cornmeal, but like, yeah.
It just sounds disgusting.
Don't say because you know you like it. You know if you
I
had
don't. I hate Taco Bell.
If you had a Taco Bell taco in front of you right now, you would be eating the shit out of it. I know.
hate Taco Bell. I've
never
liked
known this
Taco
about
Bell.
you. I didn't. You hate Taco Bell?
I do not like Taco Bell. Every single time, if I'm like with somebody and they're like, "Hey, do you want to stop at McDonald's?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Stop at Wendy's. Yeah, sure. If they go, "Hey, you want to stop at Taco Bell?" I'm like, "You can get something from there."
I
mean,
love
same.
Taco Bell.
I'll pass. I don't want anything from Taco Bell.
I can kind of relate to that because then I wouldn't eat feces, but then I would eat J-Lo's bum. So it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. That's the most uncanny representation. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know
Ramon.
what? Ben Affleck's so lucky,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he is. He was and is.
He was,
apparently.
and he's like, he could just like wake up in the morning and be like, yeah. And he can look in the mirror. He could go, I'm Batman. And then he can look at her and go, and he's got J-Lo, like.
Right, yeah,
that's
and he
pretty good,
goes
isn't it?
full Will Smith on that ass. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, Morbius sucks.
Morbius.
Have you guys watched any reviews on it yet? Any spoiler-free reviews?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched.
Yep.
I
Jeremy
watched
Johns?
it. Yeah. I watched
Okay,
Jeremy Johns.
Can I bring up one thing that he says? That was a spoiler-free, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He says that they do their very best to dance around like showing actual blood in the movie.
I figured that's what you were gonna bring up.
So much so that the blood the synthetic blood that he creates in the movie is blue.
That's what I was going to say earlier. Yeah.
That and I think it was Jeremy Johns that said this, but you can hear like when Morbius like cuts somebody, you can hear like the blood gushing, but you don't see it. Like
off screen,
but there's just no blood.
Splatter, yeah.
Well,
or like,
that,
his body was drained of blood, but like he has like a little paper thin scratch. Yeah.
Do you know, I think we should do? I think we should I probably won't go and watch it at the theatres, but when it's out on streaming, I think we should watch Blade 3 because Blade 3 is shit, and then watch that after and see if Blade 3 is a better movie than what.
Why would
Morbius
we
is.
watch those back to back?
That's a new segment. That's a new drive. That's a new Film Trigger segment. Who did it worse?
Yeah,
Who did it
I
worse?
think
It's
so.
not even a bad name, actually.
I know.
Who did it worse? Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to the thing with. That's why I was saying to you guys last week, like who owns the rights and everything to Spider-Man. And I know it's Sony, but because it's crossed with Marvel as well, do Marvel have a say in the movies or whatever? Venom 2, this one is, I think they've gone wrong from the very, very beginning. Venom should have been kind of, it should have been like how Logan was made. It should have been a scary movie. It should have been Venom that people wanted to see. Carnage should have been an outstanding movie. Again, it should have been R-rated or whatever it needs to be. It would have been massive. The same with Morbius. When you're taking away that and you haven't even got blood in it, it's a vampire movie,
right?
And you don't have blood in a vampire movie. Right. How is that going to? I know they're obviously trying to aim at the kids and that, but these kind of characters, it's difficult. Like it's
not even so much that it's that, and that's none of us have seen this movie. We're just going based off of the astounding amount of bad reviews this movie is getting. And what's its rating on Rotten Tomatoes? Is it like 15?
17 right now.
17%. Yeah.
Wait, do me a favor. Check out the rating for the Spice Girls movie. I want to know if it's got higher rating than that because that film was crap.
Didn't know that existed, but all right.
So Spice Girls, the movie, they've just got a bus.
I remember that.
And they just drive around and.
Spice Girls in Beverly Hills, is it that one?
No, it's just called Spice Girls, the movie. I think it's called that.
There's nothing
Spice
on
World. Spice World.
Oh, Spice World, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why that's somewhere
in
the depths of my brain.
What does that have? What does that have?
It has a 36%.
Spice World has 36% and Morbius has 17% in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Okay.
That says it.
All right.
If that's how I'm going to review it. Well, guys, if you like Spice World, you're going to love this.
Wow. Okay, so Morbius' first reactions are not good. None of us have seen it, but I almost do want to see it. There's an oddity going on here.
Yeah.
It's the fact that this movie looks so bad that I want to go see this dumpster fire in like Atmos theater sound in a big screen. Like I want to, like I'm excited to see a shitty movie in theaters. I really am. Is that weird?
No, it's not.
So bad now?
You know, I went to do that the other day, and I ended up liking the movie.
What movie?
What was that?
Uncharted.
Oh,
is it good?
You told us that, yeah.
Oh, I did tell you that.
Yeah.
I
didn't.
I went to see Uncharted because I went in and I was like, oh yeah, this movie is just gonna be garbage. You know, let's just watch this movie for fun. Then I actually liked it. So
well, I don't understand why people think that movie is gonna be garbage. Like the trailer looks good. I listen. I don't play the video games, but the trailer.
I think
that's
good.
why. That's why.
Because people are weird about their fucking video games. Yeah.
It's kind of like I think that's kind of why I was a bit like that with it. I'm still going to watch it on the streaming when it comes out, but that's why I didn't rush to the theater because it's.
The thing is that like, you know, the Uncharted games, they tell like this actual really good story.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that in the movie, you're not gonna get it. But the action is actually really good. Like I was expecting like, oh, you know, not great action and mediocre story. You get mediocre story, but the action is actually really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame though, because like that's kind of what I'm expecting, but it's a shame because we've not had like Indiana Jones was one. Then you had I suppose you could put the first couple of Mummy movies. They're that kind of adventure. Then Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was they're not that good, but it's been a long time since we've had something like that. And Tom Holland, I know he's doing more Spider-Man, but he needs another, like, this is his thing, and that would have been the perfect sort of Indiana Jones type movie to have been. And it's a shame. I know it's going to be good visually and everything, but story-wise, if it's a bit, it's a shame because it could be, you know what I mean, something really, really special for him to do, like 2 or 3 movies. So in 10 years' time, people will be like, oh my God, the Uncharted movies are, but... You know,
I still think they're going to do more, though, because it made money and most of the audience enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So,
that's good enough then, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, Morbius. You know, something I heard about this movie, and it makes sense just from watching the trailers. Somebody said one of the main problems with this movie is that it takes itself seriously. Like, you know, with Venom, specifically Venom 2, it doesn't take itself seriously. And that's why I enjoy the movies, because they're trying to be goofy. This isn't. This is trying to be serious. And
why do you think a movie that has had this opportunity to, like, all this time to prepare and be, you know, they could tweak it, like, hey, you know what, let's revisit this, let's do a couple reshoots here. Why do you think a movie that has had this opportunity is not doing very well at all? Like, why did it? According to the reviews, what happened with this film?
I go with the same thing as every time. It's the flipping executives, whoever's running and who's sitting in the high chairs, are like, one, let's take blood out of it. So that means they're trying to change a very, very basic thing to do with vampires. Yeah. Like, that just... They've obviously changed it so much to cater to a specific audience. And it just sounds kind of like what they did with Carnage. Just throw as much as you want on screen. Just get it, you know, just to confuse people. Oh, wow, that looks cool. But that doesn't... I think people enjoy that, but I think the longevity of things, people just go, well, it's just going to... Like Transformers. Transformers was good to start off, but then it just become this mess on the screen. It was just whatever. And people just watch them and just go, yeah, whatever. And I think it's the same problem with those movies, like with Carnage. It just ends up... I don't... Like, that fight at the end of Carnage was just... And with Riot in the first Venom, it was just this big blob. And like, there's a head over there and a head over there. And we're back together. And I'm like, what just happened? I don't know what just happened. So I think it's... I think it's the studios again, because these should have been... I don't know. I know, Seth, you're saying you want to see like the fun action, you want it to be goofy and that. But at the same time, when we see movies like Spider-Man, that's supposed to be the same sort of universe, it had the deeper story that was in it and the sadness with May, and you're not going to get that with these other movies. They're just, to me, they're just kind of throwaway. If they come out, great. If they don't get made, it don't make a difference. And I don't think that's not good for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think, Seth? What do you think happened according to all the terrible reviews that are going on about this movie? What do you think happened? What the fuck happened to this movie?
I have no clue. And that's... It's funny because, like, based on how this movie seems, it feels like it should have been a red flag since the script was written.
Right.
Like, so I don't know why they went through with it, because clearly they weren't confident from the start. They were lying about all the Spider-Man stuff from the start of the trailer.
From what I heard, another movie reviewer that I watched said that they didn't lie. They said, now some of the scenes were they used different takes that were in the trailers. They used a different take than what they put in the trailer, but they said that the clips that we thought were taken out were not taken out. So I heard that wasn't true, Seth. So
that's not what I heard.
That's not what. Well, take it up with Sean Chandler.
Yeah.
All right, he's the one I watched that said that. But okay. I don't know. There's one other aspect to this that I think could be interesting, and that's the fact that the reason why this movie's doing so bad is maybe they had too much time to mess with it. You know, maybe they got something out, and then, like, since, you know, it's been two years since its original release, they kind of tweaked it. Like, well, you know what? Maybe it's a little too graphic. This is coming off No Way Home. We better pull back some of the graphic parts, take out some of the blood, change that red blood to blue because fuck you.
I think you're being too kind.
I'm being
I do. I think you're doing like we always do, the devil's advocate. I think you're. I know what you're doing. You're doing the right thing by doing that. But I think if the basis of a story is shit, the film's going to be crap no matter what happens. You could have whoever who done was it Filoni or whoever or Feige, whoever done Infinity War? Infinity War could have sat there for 2 years and not come out, and they could have messed with it. That's still that basis line of Thanos is the story. He's got to get the stones. Yeah. This tragedy is going to. You've got that great storyline. So all the other bits around it don't really matter because you've got that backbone. If you've not got the backbone of a story, a solid story, it's not gonna.
Well, unless you see a story and you're like, okay, we got our story out there, and then over the next couple of years, you're like, what do you think? That's a little slow. Maybe we should just we should just speed it up, put some more action in there, and we'll explain all this through exposition. Like that could have happened. I don't know. None of us have seen it. We're just going based on the reviews here, which are not very good, and like even the best reviews they kind of do an undercut. Oh, the movie's not bad, even though it kind of sucks, but it is okay.
Yeah.
Those are like the best reviews we're getting. I haven't actually seen anybody come out and say, "Oh my God, go see Morbius. Your life will change." No, I haven't seen anybody do that.
So you know what?
Yeah.
One last thing. I truly hope, it's wishful thinking because it's been a long time, that after, we always go back to, we love the Snyder movies and that, and they're 2-3 hours long. The Batman's just come out 3 hours long or whatever it was. I really hope, even if the movies are not that long, I hope these studios take note and go, the Batman was just hardcore story driven. I remember the fights and everything, but it weren't really about that. It was about the story, and it was still a good, decent enough movie. I just hope these studios come away, because you can make a Morbius movie, a Venom movie, and everyone can come away and go like, wow. Like, imagine if it's that effort that goes into the films. If the same effort went into Venom as went into the Batman, we would be sitting here going, what a film. Like, we would be going, Venom was so creepy and it was just a mate. Like, that's what we all want from these movies, but it just feels to me that they're just throwing them out right quickly. The TikTok generation, quick. It does, and that's it's not good.
What a terrible turn of events where Sony comes out with a $1 billion movie, the biggest moneymaker since the pandemic, and it's starting to go up on the charts as like one of the greatest financial successes of movie time.
Yep.
Followed by Morbius, who is starring Jared Leto, who has been the poor fucking guy, man. Like, I don't know if I feel bad for him or not. Like, I know he's a good actor. I do. I've seen him perform great in other movies, Requiem for a Dream, Dallas Buyers Club. He's excellent actor.
I do feel
choosing shitty ass roles.
Yeah, but you know what?
Or something. I don't know.
Mate, you think about it as an actor, anyone, right? If you're an actor, any of us was actors, and someone comes on and goes, "Hey, mate, do you want to play Joker after Heath?" And you'd be like, "Fuck, that's a big thing to follow." But that's an opportunity you cannot pass up. It didn't work out. It got slaughtered. Then someone comes along and says, "Right, Spider-Man's coming out with all of Octo and all of these guys are going to be in it. Then we're going to have this other thing that's going to spin off with Venom and then Spider-Man or whatever. Morbius, the living vampire." That's like, well, how can that fail? Like, you've got, like, he's crazy. Well, the Joker didn't do well. You know what? I'm going to go for this one. These guys, Marvel, Sony, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
This has happened, and it's like, I feel sorry for him in that sense.
So the takeaway from all of this is, don't let Jared Leto lead in a movie following a previous movie's success. Just like Joker, the Heath Ledger success. He's the first Joker to Heath Ledger, and didn't work. This movie is not, Morbius is not doing very well following a No Way Home. So there you go. First reactions are not good. We will not have a spoiler talk this Sunday, because I don't think any one of us want to see this piece of shit. At least not right away. So I have no plans on seeing it right away. Unless Seth, you and I are hanging out Saturday, maybe if we can find like an hour or two to go have some popcorn and laugh at a movie.
I mean,
then maybe we will, huh?
All right, yeah. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that. Okay. With that, okay. So we got that done and out of the way.
Shame, isn't it? Really.
Well, speaking of It is a shame. But speaking of dumpster fires, Ezra Miller is in trouble again. Okay, so what do you guys know about what happened with Ezra Miller? Seth?
Yep, I know about it. 3 things now that have happened with Ezra Miller. Because there was a thing 2 years ago where he, choked someone and slammed him to the ground.
A girl, a female. Yeah, he choked her, slammed her to the ground.
She looked at him.
And
she was like asking for an autograph or like just like, hey, can I get a picture? Like she was being a fan, and he's like, what, you want to fight? And like he threw her down. He's slurring his words because he's drunk or on something. Like, okay, strike one, yes.
And then I think just this past weekend he was at a bar in Hawaii.
Yep.
And
man,
I guess
alcohol again. Imagine that.
At a karaoke bar, I think, and he didn't like the song the woman was singing on stage, so he went up and
karaoke.
And then he went up there, ripped the microphone out of her hand. Some other guy was playing darts and started yelling at Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller like tackled him.
Yep.
And then the
cops, you want to tackle somebody, you tackle the guy with darts. That's
and then the cops were called on them, of course. And then Ezra Miller was bailed out.
Okay, I'm going to put a pin in what you're saying.
Okay.
Who was he bailed out by?
That's what I was getting to. That was like my next word.
Don't tell me.
Okay, but I mean, let's rewind a little bit. How did he meet these people?
Okay, yeah, he was staying with a couple in Hawaii. I don't know why he was staying with
friends,
them.
Like friends?
Not necessarily
just
friends.
People
random people. Yep, and they offered Ezra Miller a place to stay.
Yep, because he obviously has no money. He definitely needs some shelter, a roof over his head for a night. Yeah.
So he'd been staying with them for a while. I think about a week or so, maybe. Mm-hmm. And so they bailed him out of jail.
Yep.
And then he stole from them and threatened to kill them.
Oh yeah. Threatened to kill them. So you said that's the third thing, right?
Yeah, that's the third thing that happened after the whole thing at the karaoke bar. The other
I will
night.
add to what you say and freckle in that according to the reports from Variety that I'm reading here, there were also 10 times that police were called about Ezra Miller during his duration in Hawaii, on top of everything else. Dude, what is going on with this kid, man? Like, what is like this is bad. Like, and I don't mean bad like for it's obviously bad for his career, it's a bad look, but this is somebody who needs help.
Yeah.
He needs friends, family, somebody, Jesus. He needs something to come to like, I don't know, change his perspective on life, because this isn't great for him.
How old is he?
Seth, will you jump on that?
I'll look it up real quick.
He's I would say mid to late 20s or early 30s at the
That's what I mean. He's not like 18, 19. He's not like young, is he? He's in his 20s. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I would imagine
it's
he's turning 30 this year.
Boom.
Yeah, that's bizarre then. That's definitely bizarre. If he was like really young, I'd go, he's, young kid in Hollywood, he's gone off the rails, it happens, and you're right, someone needs to rein him in. But if he's sort of nearly 30, that's a bit more. I think that's a bit even more concerning, because he should know better by that age. I think that's a bit worrying, and it's not good considering the movie's not even out yet, and he's just been arrested, and he's got a restraining order, from this couple on him.
Yeah, well, they filed to get a restraining order.
But that's concern. The studio must be going, what the heck is this guy doing? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah. They ignored it last time. Are they going to ignore it this time too?
Well, if the movie's out next year, it's bound to happen again. I can't see him not getting in trouble again.
Well, okay, then that begs the question: what, if anything, should Warner Brothers do? I mean, they have this movie, The Flash, coming out next year. It's done. It's shot. It's in the can. It's ready to go out, as far as we know. But we know it's completely shot. What do they do? What would be the smartest move for Warner Brothers to do at this point?
Fire him.
I don't know, mate. Yeah,
you can't fire him from a movie that they already shot.
No, I mean,
but you can fire him from the role.
Yeah.
Right, but the movie still has to
Yeah, but
come out.
they will get but they will make that money. They don't care. They won't care about that. The movie's done. But
Yeah, well, there's nothing to do about that movie. So I'm talking about the role, the future as the Flash.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. There's nothing else you can what are you gonna do? Keep him? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, listen, not that it's Warner Brothers' responsibility, but like, I feel like there's an opportunity here. Warner Brothers has had a lot of bad press, and rightfully so. They've made a lot of stupid decisions. You know, they're maybe that's why they like Ezra, because they're both just toxic fucking people. Speaking in generalities of Warner Brothers being people, but like, maybe this is an opportunity for Warner Brothers to come up and just be like, "Hey, Ezra, we're gonna get you some help. We're not gonna fire you and throw you out in your butt. We're actually gonna help you."
You're too kind. You're too sweet, Stevie.
Well, I'm not saying I would do that. I'm
they
trying
should
to
have
figure out
done
how
that.
Warner Brothers could help themselves.
They should have done that last time. That's what they should have done then.
when he assaulted a woman,
and
or maybe when he put out his, hey, let's grab guns and shoot Nazis video,
yeah, that's what I was just going to say to you. Yeah, that was 6 weeks ago or something. That wasn't even that long ago on Instagram.
Yeah, not
and
that long ago.
And we spoke about it, and it was like, right, there's the clan, as we know, and he was sort of saying, so we just assumed, it's, you sort of take it with a pinch of salt when someone talks about something like that. Maybe it's someone in the family's been attacked or whatever. Maybe he's doing the right thing, but now it just makes it sound like this guy's a fucking nutcase. It just doesn't, like, I don't know what to say. And the saddest and hardest thing is, I wouldn't put him in the same level, but he's a quirky, weird dude, and I don't mean that as disrespect, but I mean it I do mean it actually as a compliment. But he's a quirky, weird dude that reminds me a little bit of Johnny Depp when he was younger. He does weird sort of performances, and he's got a weird sense of humor. And he's like, when he was in the Dumbledore movies, like, I loved him in that, and he's that quirky little quiet guy, and he's got that weird side to him. And I'm thinking, I really like this guy. Like, he's a good actor. I do like him. But when this happens, you just think, dude, like, someone's got to, like you say, I think someone's got to pull him to the side, even one of the older actors, and say, look, dude, you got to get it together, mate. You know what I mean? Because he's going to lose everything. If he carries on like this, he's going to lose everything. And I think that would be a shame, because I do like him as an actor. I think he's really good. But I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, you just fire him. Like, 3 times, and especially this severe stuff.
They
would not be part of this.
They seem to be progressing.
And they're getting worse.
Outbreaks.
Yeah. So I saw someone talk about this yesterday, and it's completely true. WB not doing anything is just enabling him to do it again.
Yeah, like, he seems, from what I can tell from that one video, and just like from the reports of the words that he says and like his actions, it seems like he thinks he's invincible. Like there's no ramifications for his actions, and he can do what I want. I believe
because WB taught him that.
Well, I believe like one of the words out of his mouth in this last incident is, "Do you know who I am?" And when somebody says, "Do you know who I am?"
Do you know who I think I am?
Yeah, Ramon's friend. He says, "Do you know who I think I am?"
Why are you grabbing my back? Like, do you know who I think I am? It's not a good look.
I had an actor say that to me one time. And this actor was drunk. I was performing at a show at a hotel.
I know who this is.
Yeah, a really nice hotel in Columbus. And it was the guy who played Nightcrawler in X-Men, Alan Cummings. And like, he was there. He stayed for almost my entire performance. But he was being obnoxiously loud and like singing over me. And I have a PA system. He's singing over me, and then like, he comes up to me and he's like, "Do you know who I am?" And then his boyfriend or husband comes over and he goes, "Honey, he don't care who you are," and like grabbed him and pulled him away, and took him upstairs, and they tipped a dirty $1 bill and put it in my tip jar. But
do you know what makes you? And again, it makes you think. You don't see him in a lot.
He has a TV series.
No, but what I mean, he was in X-Men. He was in James Bond. He was around the '90s, late '90s. He was in movies like I like that guy. That guy's same as Ezra Miller. I like that guy. He's always there. Yeah. He's funny. He's going to go on to be. You know what I'm saying? So like, if he it shows off. If he's that kind of person, studios would just end up going. Same with Ezra. Ezra's in that sort of zone now. If you carry on like that.
Yeah, he is in that sort of zone. I think Seth described it perfectly when he said, third time, 3 strikes you're out. First time he assaulted that lady. Second time he told people to grab guns and go kill the Ku Klux Klan. Which, like, I'm not supporting the Ku Klux Klan. Please, dear God, don't take that away from this. But then this being strike 3, like I would prefer that Warner Brothers step in and say, hey, we'll let's get you some help. But
yeah, Ezra.
Do you?
What?
I'm wondering what they're going to, if they could do anything about the Flash movie.
MCU
it's far
expertise.
Away.
What's up, MCU expert D?
What's up?
What's up, man?
That movie is far now. Like, that's not coming out this year anymore. I think is it June 2023 now? That's like a year and a half away.
Yeah, but what they did is they moved it to like a better prime movie spot.
Yeah, they did. A couple reshoots. It'd be some money, but quite a bit of money if you want to reshoot that whole movie. But
yeah, no, you can't reshoot the whole movie. That's not going to happen.
No.
Well, then there's nothing else you can do about it.
No, there's nothing.
I
mean, you could CGI like person's face. You could do that whole thing they did in Army of the Dead where they replaced the helicopter pilot with that lady, Tig. What's her name?
Well,
Tig
they just shot that entirely though. Well, not the whole movie. They obviously didn't reshoot the whole movie, but like
they just reshot her parts, but she also wasn't the main star, so you really couldn't do that here. There's really not much you can do. They just gotta deal with it, and hopefully Ezra Miller can get some help. That's all I can say.
Ezra Miller has a movie coming out in a couple weeks, like a big movie.
It's the Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah,
they've cut him from promotions, like those recent trailers in the past couple of days, or like the TV spots.
He's not about that,
He's not in any of them.
Yeah.
But you can't cut the Flash out of the Flash trailers.
No, you sure can't, because
what about
Flash.
What about press tours?
Well, and the thing is, like,
you have Michael Keaton running it. Like,
maybe I'm wrong about this, Seth. Does Ezra Miller play 2 parts in the Flash, or is that lookalike just like an actual lookalike?
No, that's 2 parts.
Okay, so like Ezra Miller plays 2 roles in the Flash. Can't get rid of him. He's there, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but someone's gonna, like you say. I think they should have done something before. But if you've got a restraining order out on an actor, that's a big. That's like doing stupid things on social media or getting drunk and being a fool. Like, people do it.
Well, people do it, and actors have done
to
it.
Kill someone is. That's gone. That's like global news. That's like this actor's threatened to kill someone. There's a restraining order on him, even if he was drunk and it was just him being, I'll kill you, just whatever, being an idiot. It's the fact that there's a restraining order. If that comes,
words?
Like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, his exact words were, "I will bury you and your slut wife." Burst into the bedroom of the couple that he was staying with. "I will bury you and your slut wife." Is his exact words. Now listen, this sucks for Ezra. It really does. But hopefully this can be turned into a turning point. Let's use an example here. The most famous example would be Robert Downey Jr. A man who did very questionable, very many things like this, just off the wall, alcohol and drug induced situations that got him from like Oscar nominated actor to B-list, don't hire him type of actor.
It was a miracle, I think. Like, I remember when I was a kid, and I went to see Chaplin with him.
What a good movie!
Oh, mate, and I think even before that, there was movie he done one with Mel Gibson, Air America, which was a bit silly, but I always had this thing that I just loved. Robert Downey Jr. Again, I think it might have been because you could see he was a bit of a loose cannon. You could see it in him. He was one of those that you could go off the rails.
Well, yeah, that kind of rock star mentality, yeah.
Yeah, and it just gave him a persona and an aura about him. And I don't know, I just love him in movies. I loved him. Again, Chaplin, I just thought he was fantastic. And when he went off the rails, I was like, oh, damn, like, I don't want it to... Yeah, I didn't want him to end up in the ground. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys you just, certain actors I just like. And I'm so chuffed. Like, honestly, I'm so happy that he turned it around. But that's that's a hard path, I think, for a lot of these. When you were talking about people that have got sort of 50, 60 million in the bank, like, that's a hard path to just go, yeah, I'm going to get help and fix my life. I hope this young dude fixes it, because it's just going to be another waste a waste of talent. You know what I mean?
And hopefully he gets it. He course corrects and gets better before things get really bad. He actually does hurt somebody or himself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's because that's where he's headed.
He's already hurt people physically.
Well, you told where he took that one girl down to the. I meant like seriously hurt.
Charging at someone with darts. Like someone had that darts. The dart could have gone anywhere. Could have gone to someone's chest. It could have.
Yeah, the first offense, he kind of took a woman down to the ground. This offense, he grabbed a microphone out of somebody's hand because karaoke. He didn't like the song. It's fucking karaoke. But then he also attacked a dart player and then threatened the lives of the people he was staying with. So what's next? What's the next level up? And what's he gonna do? Like kill a cat? Start skinning animals? Well,
if WB keeps him as the Flash, then I guess we'll find out.
So you're saying, Seth, that
I agree with him.
WB needs to get rid of him to save him.
I think it would at least push him in the right direction. It would show him that his actions at least have consequences.
Yeah, right. Fair.
Which
that's exactly
aren't being showed at all. You bring up Robert Downey Jr. and yes, he turned his life around, and I'm hoping Ezra Miller does the same. But the thing is that Robert Downey Jr., if he was doing this stuff while he was Iron Man, would have been fired.
He did this stuff while he was doing other movies, and he got fired from other movies. And Hollywood didn't hire him again. He got lucky. Tom Cruise turned down the role of Iron Man, and then it was given to him.
My main comparison is like big franchises. Like if Robert Downey Jr. was part of that big franchise while he was doing this stuff, he would have been fired. Ezra Miller is part of this massive franchise that looks he is the main character of the movie that is kind of changing the course of the entire cinematic universe.
Yeah, for DC. And not just that, but this news came out with impeccable timing.
Yeah, it was like a day after the whole Oscars thing with
where he was
Justice
on screen. His scene won the fan award. Now, whether you agree with the fan award, how it won or not, I'm beginning to disagree with how maybe they should just take out the fan awards. Personally, I don't like how they were hijacked by people. But Ramon, you're wiggling around. Go for it.
I've got to say, I don't want to go on to the Will Smith thing because everyone's talking about it and everyone's probably sick of hearing it. But there's a video that I saw tonight. I don't know if you've both seen it anyway, but it just made my anger go up even more. So you remember when Chris Rock said what he said. Mm-hmm. Will Smith's laughing his ass off. The missus.
Oh, you're talking about where they show the other camera view of Jada?
Right. So she's face of thunder. He goes up and slaps. And when he hits him, she bursts out laughing. Yeah. And I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, because she's a toxic.
You manipulating, nasty bit of work woman. Like she got what she wants. She's messed this dude up in the head.
If you want to know how toxic Zeta is, just watch that interview between him and Zeta where he started crying.
The sad thing is, mate, is when I was at school, 1993, 1994, a long, long time ago, she was in a movie called Jason's Lyric when she was really, really young, like when she was with Tupac and stuff like that. She was so beautiful. She's so lovely. Beautiful. Yeah, she was such a lovely she just come across so lovely. And I think, where the heck did it go wrong for you to be like this? I don't know.
There's this empowerment that she seems to have. And listen, I don't want to sit here and shit on just one person, act like I know them. I don't fucking know these people besides what they show me. But and you're right. I don't want to get onto this Will Smith thing for too long. Either, but there is something else that came out about that. And since we're talking about it, Seth, if you could type us up a little more Will Smith Oscar news update. Yeah, something for the banner. But there's one other thing that came out since we're on the topic of it.
Yep.
And it's we were all wondering why Will Smith was not taken out of the Oscars.
I heard about this.
Why didn't the Academy do anything? And it has come to light that the Academy did ask Will Smith to leave.
And he said no.
And he told them no. Now there's another part of this. Variety came out. I wasn't planning on talking about this. So I don't have the article up, but around about what I read was Variety has an article saying that the Academy did tell him to leave, which the Academy came out and made that clear. That's exactly what the Academy said. But Variety says that the producers of the show are the ones that told him not to leave, or to say that he didn't have to. So he kind of had like a choice, like, oh, should I listen to this person or this person? I can either one's not going to get me in trouble. So he decided to stay. But
it's crazy.
But according to the Academy, their words were, we asked him to leave. He said no. Now, and then it was followed up by them apologizing to Chris Rock, saying, Chris, we appreciate how well you handled the situation that you're in. We apologize greatly. And what they didn't say, but we could all see it with a winky face, please don't sue us, because Chris Rock can sue the Academy because he got assaulted while working.
I know. And I see that thing with Jim Carrey when he come out and said, I would have sued him. He goes, I would have just gone to town with him, woke up in the morning, got my lawyer and said, I would have sued him $200 million because you've just...
what Jim Carrey said about the whole situation. Yeah.
And you know what? I've never been the largest fan of Jim Carrey. I like some of his movies, like The Mask and stuff like that. I'm not like, oh, wow, I've got to see something, it's Jim Carrey, but I like him. And I
like his journey. I enjoy it. I've been enjoying watching his journey, his life.
Yeah, journey. And where he is now, he does not give a crap. Like, he will say, he's not going to be malicious for no reason, but he's honest, is what I'm saying. He's honest, and he's like, it takes a lot of guts, because he's kind of blacklisting himself in saying that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? And he doesn't care, and I give him, I respect him for that, for saying the right thing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's taken a long road for Jim Carrey to get to that point. Yeah. Now, let's back up a little bit. The more Will Smith Oscar drama, as I said, the Academy said they asked him to leave. He said no. Variety says the producer said he could stay. Time will tell on that one. But either way, things aren't looking good for Will, because the Academy can and probably will suspend him from being a part of the Academy for a few years, or maybe indefinitely, or for life, depending on how they take the severity of this situation, which I think is quite severe. You assaulted a man. There's no way around it. Backpedaling even more, Ezra Miller being in trouble again. There's a lot of shit going on. Actors acting a fool and getting in a lot of trouble. But there's bigger things to worry about. There's bigger concerns to have, because these people, Ezra Miller, Will Smith, they did these things to themselves. They controlled the situation, and they'll sleep in the bed they made. Somebody who doesn't quite have much of a choice for the situation they're going through is Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis is leaving acting due to, how do you pronounce it? Is it aphasia?
I think that's how you pronounce it. But
aphasia, which is like a cognitive disease. It's or I use the word disease, but condition, like where you can't really understand the words you're reading. You sometimes can't speak the words you want to say, and so I think sometimes you can't understand what is being told to you. It's almost, I don't know it well enough, but I do have an article here that kind of breaks it down a little bit. I believe this is from Variety here. We'll bring it up. Will Smith. This is, I said Will Smith. Geez, Bruce Willis. Directors were concerned with his memory and safety on set prior to retirement. We'll dive into this a little bit. This isn't the article I thought I had up for it, but basically the aphasia condition is, as I said, it's just something that makes what an actor does almost impossible to do. And it's come out so the family and Bruce have obviously made a decision. Okay, well, this is happening, so Bruce is gonna step back from acting. But this report that I brought up is from Variety, and it says that Bruce Willis's directors were concerned with his memory and safety on set prior to his retirement, meaning that there's a couple of movies that he did where there's very strict rules on like when or how many lines he should do in a day, and it's theorized depending on like how good or bad his memory is at the time. There's a scene, and I'm not going to go through and try to find it where it is in this article, so I'll kind of recap it for you. But there is like a scene where he had a gun that had blanks in it, and the person he's in the scene with was supposed to duck when Bruce Willis said a certain word. It was, for lack of a better term, the trigger word for that person to duck so he can shoot the blank,
Yeah.
Well, Bruce Willis forgot to say the word and shot the gun right at the person, and thankfully it was a blank that worked. But this is how accidents in Hollywood happen, so obviously this was becoming a major issue, a nightmare for, for a bad incident that could happen on set. So thank goodness nothing bad happened there, but it kind of brings to light, like, how long has this been going on? Has this been going on since during or before his role in Glass? And how long did he think they were going to keep it quiet? And why do you think they kept it quiet for so long? Do you think they were just letting him do the movies, until he couldn't do it anymore? Or was somebody trying to take advantage of him in the studios saying, okay, well, me being Bruce Willis's agent, or, I know that his health is declining, so I need to make much money as I can. So I'm going to sell him to a whole bunch of studios that will buy him so he can put out all these movies, which is what he's been known to do for the past so many years, putting out all these pulp movies, just pumping them out, that weren't all that great movies. Now, where was that happening because maybe his agent or somebody else was taking advantage of his status and saying that, I know his memory's going to slip soon, so let's try to cash in while we can. I just wanted to present those thoughts to you guys. Seth, what do you think happened in this situation?
I have no clue. Like, I don't know what to say about it. Like,
well, do you think this was like keeping him in movies? Like, do you think maybe everyone was aware that he was going through this issue and they just kept putting him in movies just to try to cash grab while they can? Or do you think it was more of a respectful thing? Like, let's just let Bruce Willis, do what he wants to do, and which was every movie under the sun that he was offered.
I think it's probably the second one.
Yeah. What do you think, Ramon? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Seth. I thought you were.
Go on, Seth. Go on. Finish off.
I was honestly just gonna wing that sentence. So I didn't actually come up with something in my head. So
do you know what? It's the first thing that's come to mind when you've said this. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm not going to say I'm not surprised, but it's made me think about a few things with him. Years back, I used to follow Kevin Smith. I was a massive fan of his early movies like Clerks and Mallrats, all them.
Yeah.
Love them. And he done a movie with Bruce Willis, and Kevin Smith done a stand-up a few years ago and said he hated working with Bruce Willis. And I think it was a movie, I think it was with Tracy Morgan, called Let's Be Cops. And I think it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago. Now, he said he was the most awkward person. He wouldn't read scripts. He wouldn't do this. It's making me want. Maybe it's all coincidence, and I'm just coming to Bruce Willis's side for no reason. But it's a bit strange that you'd never really have heard this stuff before in his earlier movies. But then Kevin Smith come out, 8 or 9, whenever it was, when he done this movie, and him to go on stage and go, it's the worst experience of my life as a director. He wouldn't read the script. He wouldn't. And it's making me think maybe Bruce Willis knew that something was up, and he was just trying to blag it to. He knew that something. He just knew that he was ill and unwell, and maybe he was just trying to hide it. Maybe he felt embarrassed. I don't know. But,
maybe anything's possible.
But that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going with what it kind of seems to be, because, like you say, I've noticed in the last sort of 5 or 6 years, me and one of my friends always debate about this. He loves Bruce Willis, and I'm like, he's made some really bad movies, and he's like, no, and I'm like, he's made probably 50 movies in the last 5 years, like straight to DVD movies. And now that, like you say, I think it kind of makes sense. Maybe he was just trying to rake in the cash. He's probably made a lot of money.
Bruce
anyway,
Willis. Like, how much money does he need to rake in? I mean, the dude is well. Listen, I'm not here to like figure that out or anything like that, but I did want to touch base on one thing you said, Ramon, and that was, Kevin Smith saying that Bruce Willis was, kind of hard to work with or whatnot.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm going to sound callous here, and I don't mean to, but let's not sugarcoat things. Bruce Willis has been known to be hard to work with. He's been known to be a little pompous and maybe a little something like that. And that's that. Listen,
I'm just trying to play that card of like maybe it's been going on for a long time, and because it just seems a bit strange for him to go and do a movie like that, a comedy, and and go, oh, I'm not going to read nothing. Why would you not read a comedy script? You need to know you like it.
Right.
Maybe it might not be that, but I'm just saying, once this has just come out, that's the first thing that sort of pops into my mind. Like, maybe he was reading things like he couldn't. Maybe he just couldn't.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, sorry. That was my other computer warning me about.
She's got 25 computers. The Matrix.
I do. I got so many computers lined up. I see what you're saying. But I don't want to make the mistake of like making excuses for Bruce Willis's past actions. You know, now that he's known to have aphasia, like I don't want to make excuses for his past actions. Maybe it had something to do with it. Maybe don't. Cop Out. Is that the movie you're talking about? That's
the one. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I have a list of his movies up here.
That's it.
That was a Kevin Smith movie.
What year was it?
2010.
That's what I mean. It kind of. That's kind of what I think. It might not be that. It's just an assumption, but it just, from the way Kevin Smith described it, the one thing he kept saying was, "Oh, he won't read nothing." Every time I gave him something, he wouldn't read it, and that just seems like a strange thing for an actor to say. Like,
right. Well, and Kevin Smith is also very particular about sticking to a script.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Dogma, one of my favorite movies.
Of course, wonderful film.
There's a scene where Ben Affleck and Matt Damon they ad-libbed the entire scene, and Kevin Smith hated it. Kevin Smith is one of those people. He's like, just read what I give you. I
can understand why. Yeah.
So maybe there's a little bit of that going on there. I do want to ask you gentlemen a question, real quick. Because Bruce Willis, no matter what he's known for and what's happening to him now, what's your favorite Bruce Willis movie? Ramon, I know Seth probably needs to think about it. Ramon,
two. I've got three actually.
What? You're now defeating the point of the game.
all right, that's difficult.
All right, I'll give you top two favorite Bruce Willis movies. Okay, maybe I should let Seth go first. Seth?
No. Top two movies. I'm going to have to say The Sixth Sense is one of them because I'd never seen him act like in a movie. Like when he's in movies, he's Bruce Willis being Bruce Willis. He's like, I just see him.
He just chooses his roles. I don't know, man. I mean,
Die Hard. He's
7 Monkeys or 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, but that was after. That's what I'm trying to say. It's around that time. That came out after, I think. That's what I mean. And he done that, and I'd say Pulp Fiction's the other one. I'm not going to say like Die Hard, or I could Pulp do, but
good,
they're just the performances of his where I watch him and I'm like, dude, man, you know when you see someone in a movie and you go, damn, I wish you'd done more like this.
Yeah,
I wish you'd done more of these types of movies, and I liked him in those sorts of roles. Like you say as well, 12 Monkeys. You see that and you go, Jesus, he's good in this.
He's done so many different types of roles. I know actors like do roles, but like for an actor like him who's like known for his action and stuff, he's been a part of some really just like askew roles.
Fifth Element.
That's mine. That's my favorite Bruce Willis movie. Fifth Element.
Of course, I should have known. Should have known.
I have tortured you with that movie your entire life. So
yeah, you kind of like tried to get me to like it ever since I was like 4.
Yeah, you like this one, right? Yeah, you do. You don't? Well, maybe you need to watch it again.
You kind of take it for granted though, because I just see Bruce. That's what I mean. I just see Bruce Willis as the Die Hard guy. The Die Hard guy. But you're right. When you look at, you go, let's look at a list of the big movies.
I mean, Sin City.
That's another one I was gonna say. I love that film.
Armageddon.
It's another one.
Pulp Fiction. Death Becomes Her.
It's another good one. No, I'm gonna have Sin City and Sixth Sense because he's in Pulp Fiction, but he's not in it like loads. But Sin City,
he was in a movie.
Loved him in that.
What movie is this? He was in a movie called Hard Kill.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wow, is that not like a Die Hard wannabe? That's so weird. He's in a movie called Hard Kill. Seth, what are your favorite Bruce Willis movies? Holy shit, the hell is that?
Unbreakable.
I have no idea what the hell that was.
So that's difficult, man. Those 3 movies.
Unbreakable?
Wicked.
Is your favorite movie? That is
Favorite
a good
Bruce
movie.
Willis movie. Yes.
Yeah.
That is a
Most people will
fantastic
say
movie.
Die Hard if you ask. Like if you grab a group of people of like 10 people, 8 out of 10 of them are gonna say Die Hard is the best Bruce Willis movie. But
But
I
you're
don't
too
know.
good for that, huh?
I am too good for that. Yeah, Die Hard is mediocre. No, I'm kidding. I like Die Hard. I
Seth's gonna make everyone get film triggered.
I like Die Hard, but I've only seen the first one. But I don't know. Unbreakable is really good. Like
Unbreakable
like
is.
if
If
that
I were to
was-
pick two, it would be Fifth Element and Unbreakable. That'd be my two favorite.
Yeah.
I know a lot
And
of people,
followed by Die Hard because
of
you know.
course, yeah. I know a lot of people throw like Unbreakable into like the comic book movie category, which technically it isn't, you know, by definition, because not based on a comic book. But if it
Right.
were, it'd be up there for me.
Yeah.
Like it would probably
Yeah.
be
Well,
top 10.
And it came out before comic book movies existed. It was a comic book movie before the days of comic book movies.
Not really. It was like right when they were getting popular.
Well,
It was
yeah,
after
you're right.
Blade, but it was like before Spider-Man. So it was
Okay,
like right
it
there.
was still comic book movies exist, but they weren't the IP they are now. You know, they're not
Yeah.
they're not in the same realm that they are now for sure. So okay, so yours is Unbreakable. That's a very good one, man. And that whole series, Unbreakable, Split,
That's what I mean.
Glass, so good.
Just
That's
wicked.
still a really good twist, though. Like I can only like with Split, I can only imagine like being someone who's liked Unbreakable since
I
it
know,
came out
you
and
s-
seeing Split in theaters
Well,
and then
you
going
got-
like, what? Like
You got
Yeah, that was me.
the second best of it though, because I didn't see it in theaters, or neither had I hadn't seen Split, but you were the one who told me that Split was a sequel to Unbreakable. Do you
I
remember,
remember
that,
that.
Seth?
Yep, I remember
Do
where
you
we
remember
were
how
too.
fucking shocked I was?
Because I
like,
didn't think anything of it.
What?
Because I was just like, oh, this is cool. I was like, oh, this is cool information. I was like, oh, Bruce Willis is in Split, and you turn around, and you're like, what? And I'm like,
But
yeah, Bruce Willis plays his character from Unbreakable in Split, and you just lost your mind. It was
Well,
really
because
entertaining.
I'd been saying my entire since Unbreakable came out, they need to make a sequel to this movie.
I didn't know. Do you know-
I need the answer. Is he a superhero? Is he not a superhero? I need that answer, and I live in a world where that question has been answered.
when I
got
watched
Split on Blu-ray the other day.
I watched
That's
that because I
fucking
love James McAvoy. That was the main reason I watched it. I
That's
just
a
think
good
he's
one.
absolutely wonderful in that film. His performance is just brilliant. And I had no idea that there was any connection to him. When he walked in at the end and he said his name and I was like, nah, he can't be. And then I thought, wait a minute. And I went up online and went, it isn't. And I was like, what? So I went back and watched Unbreakable again. And then I thought, they've got to be doing a sequel. And then Glass. And then I was like so mad hyped up because they were doing the third one. I was just brilliant. It was, really, really
Yeah.
good. Just great stuff.
The only thing that ruins that trilogy for me is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong making a cameo in Glass.
Yep.
His cameo in Unbreakable was great. His cameo in Split made it was fun. He didn't have to be the same character. Could have been somebody completely different. Alfred
Yeah.
Hitchcock that shit. Cool. But his cameo in Glass was unbearable and so forced. I hated it. Hey, didn't you used to be a security guard at the football stadium? Man, I used to do bad things back then. Really changed my life since then. Like, no one asked you, man. Buy your freaking
Yeah,
camera
yeah,
and get the hell out of the store.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, I'm not. Listen, this is the good thing about movies. This is why we watch movies. Here we are talking about this terrible thing that Bruce Willis is going through, and we start going through our mental Rolodex of all these movies that make us feel good.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's what makes movies and actors who give us these movies, directors, writers, you know, everybody that puts these things together. That's what makes it so beautiful. And it sucks when you hear about this. Unfortunately, it's a part of life. You know, and things like this happen. I mean, it's like when somebody who's 98 years old passes away and everyone seems so shocked. It's like, did you not expect it? You know, like, I don't know. I look at things like this a little differently, I think, but I hope that he can bounce back because aphasia, depending on how you get it, can be treated. He can come back, you know, with some physical therapy, depending on how far it goes. But it does depend on how he ended up getting it, because you can get it from a head trauma, or you can get it from like a precursor to dementia or anything like that. But Bruce Willis, thanks for the laughs, thanks for the cries, thanks for everything you've done in Hollywood, man. We appreciate you, dude. That's all I can really say about it right now. Do you guys have anything else you want to add to the Bruce Willis?
I got nothing for this.
All right, then we will move on here to some spoiler-free talks, first thoughts about Moon Knight.
Man, I couldn't believe Spider-Man died. That was nuts.
Shh. You said no spoilers, bruh.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call from an 866 number. That sounds legit. All right. So first thoughts, Moon Knight. For me, I've known nothing about Moon Knight. When I first saw Moon Knight and I heard, oh, Batman ripoff, I'm like, okay, all right, I believe it. Batman ripoff. And then I saw the costume. I'm like, man, that costume looks kind of stupid. Then when I started hearing more about the lore, and I started hearing more about the different iterations of Moon Knight, that this seems to be a Frankenstein mixture of, a cocktail of these different types of Moon Knights. It started to pique my curiosity, mainly because it seemed a little bit more original than, hey, we're going to take this askew character and give them the Guardians of the Galaxy treatment, and put them out in the limelight and see if it works. I watched it last night. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great episode. I liked how the way that the episode was presented, the way that we learned about everything, the way the main character Steven learned, and at the same time that he learned it. It was just a mystery to him as it was to us, and I like it when we get to put ourselves in the lead roles, shoes a little bit. I also, little side note, really enjoyed the shtick when the museum lady kept calling Steven Stevie.
Yep.
As a Steven who also goes by Stevie. I just really enjoyed that bit. But overall, I enjoyed the show. I do think his accent was a little bit off, but I think there's a reason for that, and we'll find out that there is a reason for that. I'm pretty sure it's there, that was intentional. Seth, what are your first thoughts?
I think I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I was going to point that out. Yeah, no, Spider-Man does not die. It was a joke. Spider-Man does not actually die in Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, now he's backpedaling. You hear this? You hear what he's saying over here? Jesus Christ.
He does, man. He does this all the time.
See, what nobody knows is that me and Ramon are actually in the same room, so we're actually talking to each other. Yeah. Hi, Ramon. Nice. Yeah, stop staring at me. Anyway,
you're both looking in this. You're both looking towards that way. You're both looking that way. So
it's not like a regular room. It's like a freaky room.
Why'd you have to change? Why'd you change your accent for that?
Because I was thinking about dude from Ragnarok. It's not like a regular Sekka. It's a freaky Sekka.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway, the hell was that? What are you doing, you freaking weirdo?
I just gotta show you my boxer shorts.
I saw them. You're wearing Snoopy underwear. I get it.
Yeah. Sorry, Seth.
All right, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's
good. No exposing yourself on air without warning me first, so I can blurt it out. Go ahead, Seth.
I thought it was really good though, because I went in with low expectations, because everybody was talking about all the trailers, oh, this looks so different from everything in the MCU. It's yeah, we hear that every time,
right?
And I watched trailers.
We also heard that about Eternals, so people didn't take lightly or good to that. So
yeah, and I was like, the trailers just don't look like anything special. They look like all the other Disney Plus Marvel shows to me. It didn't look anything.
The trailers
crazy.
didn't
Right.
pop out at you.
Yeah,
real quick,
the
MCU expertise says Moonlight equals best Marvel series. My vote's still for Loki, but
I
it's
think
definitely a runner-up.
I think that this first episode is the best first episode we've had so far, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, the way it starts out.
Yeah.
Loki's
first episode is so good though too. I don't know, they're both really good, but
See,
I
I'm
think
telling
this
you, Loki's still up there for me.
This could, if Moon Knight keeps up though, for how good this first episode was, it will probably become at least my favorite MCU Disney Plus show. But I think saying that after one episode is a little Like, all right,
Well,
slow
no,
down just a second.
No, that's okay. That's okay because they have set the path. The Marvel, the MCU, TV, whatever, they have set the path. This expectation, they need to keep it. Go a little bit above or a little bit below would be acceptable. There's a fine area here they need to stay in. If they go too far this way or too far that way, then they're going to lose it. So hopefully they ride that comfortably and keep it where it should be. Ramon, what are your first thoughts on this?
Loved everything about it except for the British accent, which I've said to you guys before. I just think that it was watching it. I've seen Americans do, actors do an accent, and some you go, oh, I can tell he's not English, or whatever. But to me, it was so. It just, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. Like the accent was just so bad. The rest of it, like in terms of everything else, the camera work when he was switching, then he was on the bus, then he was somewhere. Yeah, amazing. I absolutely loved it. I really loved it. But
yeah, there's something to be said about that camera switch as well.
I love that.
It's a great use of showing violence without showing violence, and not in what we're hearing the Morbius way of doing it. Where like they just cut away because they don't want to show you violence. This was a creative way to not only show violence off screen, but also add to what's going on in his head. What's going on with the parallels that's going on in his world at the moment. Very creative. Now, Ramon, do you think that the fact that the accent, which you say that is really bad, I don't know what credit you have. Like, I don't know who made you an expert of British accents.
Yeah, I know.
But out of the three of us, I mean,
to me, it was like a guy that was trying to be like a London type accent, a bit posh, but it just. I don't know what it is. It just didn't hit right. It just didn't.
But do you think that could be
right.
intentional?
No. I just think he done the best that he could. I just think he done the best that he could, and for me, it just didn't work. There's some like
Andy Schwinker, and
some of the.
Oh, he also types in, "Hey Steve, fuck you." Oh, okay. Thanks, Andy. Sorry, Andy. I'm just messing with you.
Like some of the language, just the way he was, it was very. It's the only way I could describe it is what I said to you earlier was Dracula with Keanu Reeves, because everything was over the top. Like the way, oh look, I have a lighter. This is a lighter. We're going to go to the shops in a minute. Hello everyone. We're going to the shops.
All right, cheerio.
And we're in the museum. Yeah, I would like a steak, please.
Do you guys do this over there? I don't know.
No, like that whole thing. Oh, I would like a steak. Yes, please. How would you like it done? I would. Oh, I would like it like that. Like,
Ramon,
no one talks like that.
Ramon, I don't want to rob the Film Trigger audience. I don't want to rob the Film Trigger audience of the performance you gave before we went live, of your example of turning this around, where you said it would be like you watching a show.
I can't remember how I've done it. It's going to be different.
If you're watching a show in the UK and there's a British actor doing an American accent, go for it.
Hey, dude, I got those lighter. Oh my god, this is so cool. Yeah, dude. Okay.
So
and then that's like you watching it and then going, oh, that's the guy who does the American accent. You'd be like, no, we don't sound like that.
Right.
That's the only way I could describe
Americans are like, what the fuck was that? And all the Brits are over there going, man, that's a really good American accent. Like
and I watched it on two or three reviews, including the Real Rejects. I like you guys. You guys are a great channel and everything. But they come out and went, I can't believe he's not English. If I would have just seen that for the first time, I would have said he's British. And I just thought, I'm going to smash my laptop. Like, honestly.
Okay. So first, for some perspective here, listen, I'm not privy on my UK British accents. I know Ramon, and I know like Adele. Like these are the British accents I know, and so like
British.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And she's like that hillbilly British. That's why I call it. She's like, hello everybody, we're gonna go. Like that's
Australian.
Anyway, sorry, Ramon. I feel like I just made fun of your people.
That's right. You're all hillbillies, isn't it? So,
so we just for some perspective here, when I first saw the episode, I was like, oh, I didn't know Oscar Isaac was British, and then like I swear the first 5 minutes I'm like, I can't understand a word he's saying. Like, and I thought, is this because I don't understand like the British accent very well? I'm like, no, I understand Ramon just fine every week.
Yeah.
I don't understand what he's saying. So like when you say that it's a bad accent, I 100% believe you, but at the same time, I see that and I want to raise you. Do you think they did this on purpose? I think it's part of the character, mainly because there was a part in the show where he gets a call and the lady's like, what's up with the accent? You know, obviously his character doesn't have an accent.
No, because this is a personality, ain't it? This isn't really him.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, if that's the case, yeah, this personality isn't really him. This is just an alternate personality. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So maybe that's why it's purposefully botched
saying,
a little bit.
Yeah, but what I mean is the personality he's trying to still be is still trying to be British. Doesn't matter. That's still whoever that personality is, it's still trying to be a British accent. It's not a good British accent.
Right, I'm saying it's deliberate. Like MCU expert chimes in, says they did it on purpose. It's for the character. And also MCU expert, I do want to bring up your other comment here. It says, I think Moon Knight is not going to disappoint. The first Marvel show that's actually on the same level as the movies. Yeah. It does have a very good high movie quality. Couple effects issues. I wouldn't even call them issues. Just, you know, I could tell it wasn't a full movie budget, like with the water spouting out. You know, I could tell it was a little cartoony, a little chunky, if you will.
I think I might actually watch it again, though. I'm saying all this, that was just a small thing, just because it stood out so much to me when I was watching it. I was like, what the
Well, I'm glad we got your perspective on it, because I'm not going to say who or what, but like there's another movie channel or Facebook page that I follow, and the host of that page, you know, I gave a quick review of what I thought of Moon Knight, and that person responded immediately saying, dude, and his accent was on point. And I just responded like with a thumbs up, like, yeah, okay, you know, because I didn't want to like chime in, and like in my world, I'm like, I couldn't understand what he was saying, but maybe that's because I'm an idiot, you know. But like now hearing Ramon kind of justifies that maybe I wasn't wrong in what I was thinking, that it didn't sound right to me.
He should have just been Oscar Isaac's voice.
But no, like MCU expert, he says, like, it's for the character. I think this will play off. No, Ramon, what if it like episode 2, episode 3, he meets the person who called, you know, and like they clarify, like, listen, I know you, but I don't know who this is. You didn't have an accent, and that's a terrible accent, by the way. If they call it out in the show,
I hope so.
That's okay. That's what I'm hoping.
I'll be well done, Marvel, but that's not going to happen. They'll just say it's just one of his alternate personalities.
You don't think it's going to happen?
Not like that. It will just be that this is just one of these alternate personalities that he thinks he's English.
What do you think, Seth? Or are you in La La Land over there?
I'm halfway. Like No, I was thinking about the show. I was thinking about the accent, though. I don't think they'll stick with it. That's what I was thinking about.
I don't think so either.
This is just, I mean, we'll probably see Steven, of course, like in other things, but it's primarily going to be Mark.
Yep.
You know, of course, because Mark is Moon Knight.
Yep.
But I'm intrigued by the other personalities, because there's 4. So and I'm pretty sure we know at least one other is in this show. I don't know if they're doing all 4, but they're doing at least 3. So we've already seen 2 of them, Steven and Mark, and then there's a third one called
Isn't there a promotional thing from Marvel that has 3 Oscar Isaac faces? Like, that's part of the promotion. Like, maybe they'll have 3 personalities.
The third one we know of, he goes by the name Mr. Knight, and he's more of like he wears like a tuxedo type thing. Like, and he's I don't know much about Moon Knight, so if I'm wrong, then correct me in the comments if you know anything about Moon Knight. I think Mr. Knight is supposed to be more of the detective side of Moon Knight, while, you know, Moon Knight is just like the rageful, like, type of guy who kills everybody and brutally.
So what do you guys think about the mythology of Moon Knight, and where his powers seem to be coming from, the culture they're building around it with Ethan Hawke's character? You know, like, the tattoo that moves and he can kill people, or I don't know what else, give them power or save them. I don't know what the hell. There's so much to unwrap in this show,
Yeah.
but like that's what I really enjoy about it, is what I have huge questions about. The main character has the same questions, and that's what I like. Thank you, Seth. I was just about to do that. That's what I really enjoy, is being in the main character shoes in this series. So
Yeah.
I love
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to. I mean, 6 episodes, right?
Yeah. That's still disappointing to me that these shows are still only getting 6. I hope
But you're
soon
getting quality over quantity. You're getting quality over quantity.
Are we?
Hawkeye, looking at you.
Hawkeye, WandaVision. WandaVision was all right at the beginning, but at the end,
I really enjoyed WandaVision. It was a slow burn, but I really like when it was over. I wanted to go back and watch it again.
I thought the finale just fell off. Like you have the first couple episodes, it's like, oh yeah, it's all right. Then you get into it and you're like, all right, and then the finale drops. Like
I didn't see it that way, but
I don't know. Oh well, yeah. Oh, Hawkeye. Nope.
I think.
Yeah,
I think in general, other than his accent, like his character Stephen. I loved the quirkiness of him. I loved how he was all goofy, because you don't remember the bit with the girl asking him about the date. Are we still going out? You asking me out? Like all of those bits, I thought all of the bits I loved. I loved everything about it. It was just the accent that threw me off. I think again, especially the camera switches and everything. Even when he was driving and someone pulled a gun to his head or something, he's like, huh, and then he snapped, and then the guy was like fell out the back of the van, and that I loved it. All of that, just amazing. And then he woke up in the middle of nowhere, wasn't it? In the field, and I was like, what? Like I loved all of that. I just thought
it comes down to perspective. Like we're going through this journey with the character, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Seth, there's a comment that has a question for us. Would you mind reading that off?
What's your opinions on Moon Knight ending up working with the rest of the MCU universe and Deadpool coming to the MCU, and the two of them fighting each other like in the comics would be insane? So they're asking us, what would you like MCU to see Moon Knight and Deadpool fight? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Working up to the rest of the MCU universe, which is what right now? Like, what is the MCU universe going to look like? After May. Like what we don't quite know exactly what it's going to look like. Listen, MCU experty, I don't know anything about the comics. Yesterday was my first exposure to Moon Knight, so whatever battles they have with whoever, I don't know. Listen, you bring Deadpool in, I'm in. I'm in. You tell me Deadpool's gonna fight Moon Knight, you know what? I'm in, just on principle alone. Just like Hulk. I want to see, Deadpool and Hulk duke it out. That sounds like fun. I want Deadpool to fight everybody in the MCU. That sounds like a blast. That should be an entire movie.
What if Deadpool 3 was like Deadpool kills the Fox universe or something? Because the Marvel comic where Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. Imagine if they just did that, but with the Fox universe. That's Deadpool 3.
My God, could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine if Deadpool was the missing link that like tied the entire MCU together and like got rid of everything that happened before and gave us one linear, like, oh my God.
Tell someone that after they just watched X-Men Origins Wolverine for the first time. Like back when it came out, back in like 2008 or 2009. Yeah, tell them that. Be like, yeah, guess what? This really lame villain, he's the last one. Of this entire universe, he's the last one.
Yeah, he's gonna cherry pick who he wants from this universe and bring them over to the main universe, and everyone else will cease to exist.
Do you know what? I think I've nailed in our conversations, right? I'm gonna sneeze. Thank you. I think I've nailed through our conversations on here over the months of why I've kind of turned a bit on the MCU, and I think you've just nailed it. I really do think you've just nailed it. I love the thoughts of the Eternals and all of that, going into outer space and all of that. But looking at these characters now, Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, all of those characters, like you say, the grounded in the local towns. Yeah. Those four there, if you said to me those four, there's something happening with just those four, Deadpool, them five, I'm all over it. Like that excites me. that excites me. You go Deadpool, Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Punisher, Daredevil, like that group, because that can go anywhere. You got, you know what I mean? There's villains, there's plenty of stuff going on, but that's exciting to me because there's so much there. The craziest stuff like the Eternals and that, which I enjoyed, Doctor Strange I enjoyed. I don't know, I just don't feel as connected to that sort of stuff. Whereas with this, I'm more like, I really want to know what's going to happen. So that's where I am with it.
You're bringing up like a team of characters. I want to bring up this team to you that Moon Knight is directly involved in. People believe that this show will set this up. We don't know that, of course, but people believe that. It's a team called the Midnight Suns. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
It's like I don't know exactly like what they do, but their team is pretty interesting. You know, it's one of those teams that like they kind of switch out characters back and forth, but their main things is like Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Blade, Doctor Strange, Punisher. There's a lot of other characters on here that I don't particularly recognize, but like those kinds of characters, you know, like sometimes I think Wanda's part of it. Maybe I've heard that name thrown out there before, but I mean, I think this would be a good place to set this up. Maybe this and Doctor Strange could both be used to set up the Midnight Suns movie. I think that'd be pretty cool. Especially, I like Ghost Rider, and I just want to see Ghost Rider again.
It needs to be done
Nicolas
better,
Cage
like
Ghost Rider.
I will take a Nicolas Cage cameo in Doctor Strange. I don't want him to come back and be Ghost Rider in the MCU though. I don't want that.
What about Daniel Luna?
I was just about to say I would take him. I think I never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but like he looked cool. So like I mean
good review.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see him in the MCU, but I also wouldn't mind if they did go with somebody else. Maybe they could bring in Johnny Blaze, you know, because that's his name, right? He's like the most well-known Ghost Rider. That's not who I think Gabriel Luna is his name.
Gabriel Luna. I said Daniel Luna. Yeah, Gabriel Luna. Yeah, that's right.
Gabriel Luna. He does not play with Johnny Blaze, but like people like Nicolas Cage, they played Johnny Blaze. But yeah, there's a lot of different Ghost Riders that they could do though.
Yeah, I do have a feeling, not even a feeling, like it's pretty much just like the only logical conclusion I can come up with, or anybody can come up with, that if you're gonna get Deadpool involved in any other MCU property, it's gonna get weird. And I don't mean weird like, ooh, fun Deadpool weird. I mean like, we're gonna have to tone down Deadpool, and you don't tone down Deadpool unless you have Deadpool make fun of the fact that he's getting toned down.
Well, they've already said they're not going to do that, though.
Right. So that's where I'm leading up to. So you got to do what we talked about, I think, in the past couple of weeks, where you shift and you bring people over to Deadpool so they can have fun in their own little rated R playground.
So yeah, you could have those characters have fun, like you just said, in the R-rated playground, but you could also still bring in Deadpool in like the big team up movies, you know, like I'm assuming he obviously wouldn't be like the main character in the big team up movies, so it'd be fine to make him PG-13 there, you know.
There's got to be like, if that happens, there's got to be like some sort of they can't do a Steve Rogers cameo, but there's got to be like a Steve Rogers public service announcement, you know, like, hey, watch your language, you know, that they end up showing Deadpool or something.
Language. Yeah. Do you know what? I know I always say this, man, but I love Captain America. Like, I can't help it. I watched what was the one again I watched the other day? I think it was Age of Ultron, and it's at the very, very beginning, and it is that when they're attacking that base, and Iron Man says, "Oh shit, language," and he says it, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, yeah, Steve said language," and it sort of stuck. And I don't know, I've got that. I just love Captain America. Love it.
Yeah, Age of Ultron it's what I love that movie.
Same
I really do. Like I know
a lot of people
like,
don't.
That look right there, that little lizard neck look that Seth keeps doing. Seth, what's that lizard neck?
I'm not doing it again. No. Since you want to highlight it, I'm not going to do it again.
He's like,
do you know another reason that there's a couple of reasons I love it so much. One, it introduces my boyfriend, who's not my boyfriend because I like women, Vision. That scene. Do you know how many times?
Wow, you like lame men. That's good. Good for you.
Honest, no, shut up, man. The amount of times I ran that back.
Oh, they were fighting words.
Back. Wait, no.
The amount
of times I've run that back where he is, I suppose, the birth of Vision, and he flies up and lands on the thing and holds it, and Thor with the hammer, and Cap just stops. The amount of times I've run that back just because I love that character so much growing up. So that's probably why I like the movie so much. It's no way near one of the best ones, but I just love it because I love Vision.
And that was like literally the best example of Vision that we got.
Yeah, it was,
out of all the movies that he was in. I mean, like why they been? Well, I know why. It was for story purposes, and it served the story to have. You had to bench Vision in Infinity War. You had to bench him, and that's why they had him back there getting the stone out of his head, which never happened. Literally, that entire thing was written just to keep Vision out of the fight, because Vision technically could just destroy anybody.
Yeah,
you know why they decided to take the jewel or the stone out of his head instead of utilizing that he use it. I think Vision's one of the most wasted characters in the MCU, and the way they treat him in Infinity War is just.
I think that's a thing terrible with me as well. I'll admit it. I think that's a thing with me. I'll openly admit it's a bias. Like I think we all have it with when you love certain characters. Even if a movie isn't that good, you'll just go, "No, that's one of my favorites," just because you love that character. Like I love Rise of the Silver Surfer. It's not a good movie, but I'll always say it's a great film just because I've never had Silver Surfer in a film, and I'm not. He'll turn up again at some point, but you know what I mean? Yeah, but because it's the only one we've got, I'm like, I love that just because it's all I've got.
Well, and he looked cool. It was a good-looking Silver Surfer, and voiced by Lawrence Fishburne.
I was going to say, did Lawrence Fishburne play him in that?
Yeah. See, I told you, Schwinsker, that he doesn't do fighting words. Now you got MCU experty debating you. No. Morbius is not better than Moon Knight. So, MCU experty, you saw Morbius. Or are you just basing it off of what we're basing it off of, and that was just the reviews being very bad? But if you did see it, and this is your opinion, then, well, we'll just add it to the list, right? Add it to the list of bad reviews. Not saying the review's bad, but you get what I'm saying. All right, well, there you have it. That's
I'm in the mood to watch a MCU movie again.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I'm going to pop in Age of Ultron and piss off, Generation Z people like Seth over here.
See? Oh, you didn't see this coming. Wonderful, bruv. Quicksilver.
Yeah, too bad he died.
You know what? You remind me of my ex.
What?
Because she was a bitch as well. And I don't mean that, Seth. She used to do things like that. Whenever I like saying, "Oh yeah, too bad he died." Like crush your dreams.
For someone so fast, he literally could not catch a bolt. He couldn't catch him. Like he couldn't, pull like a Quicksilver in Days of Future Past and just. No, he had
right.
Does that mean he walked in front of Hawkeye as the bolts were going and went, just waited for them? He's like, just sit here and wait for them.
He's like, wait, this is gonna be the best line ever. Totally worth it. But you didn't see that coming.
You've just ruined the movie for me. You've just ruined it because I didn't think of that. You've just ruined it, man.
I literally like the Flash and the other version of this character are both faster than the MCU version. That's hilarious.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
I bet the Flash could go back and reverse time. I bet Ezra could be the Flash in reverse time right now, huh?
Yeah, I don't see Quicksilver winning an Oscar for being so fast. I see the Flash doing that though.
Gutted. I learned that term from you, Ramon.
Well done, Seth. I hope you wake up with diarrhea.
I hope you wake up.
That's like the worst thing. That's what
wakes you up
is
the diarrhea.
Somebody.
No, it isn't.
What? Say that again.
No.
I said that's like the worst thing you could wish upon somebody.
No,
what Ramon said.
There's a lot worse things.
Okay, come on. I was obviously exaggerating.
That's the most uncomfortable thing. One of the
you just know you're gonna have a bad day. Like,
do you think Dr. Doom is? Yeah, Dr. Doom is.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I think the real question is: do you think a good Dr. Doom is coming?
I'll even throw a theory out there. I think we'll see. I think we'll see Dr. Doom this year.
Multiverse.
No. Black Panther.
Oh, you think we'll see? You think we'll see?
That's a good shout.
Doctor Doom this year? You think he's gonna pop up in Doctor Strange?
Black Panther.
Black.
Okay. I think he's gonna pop up in Black Panther.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they could do a doctor bit. You know, like
Doctor, and then Doctor Who turns up.
Are you willing to put money on it, Seth, that he'll show up in Black Panther?
No, I'm not willing to put money on it. But
while we're on the topic, just for anybody watching who doesn't already know, we do have a running bet going on this channel.
It's confirmed.
Which
it's not confirmed.
It says January 1st, 2023. Ramon will shave his head live on air if Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 has not been announced. Seth will shave his head if it has. So January 1st, 2023. One of these two people are going to shave their heads.
It's going to be Ramon.
Yeah, I don't care who it is.
Ramon, you gotta go like full beard too. Like the whole head's got to be like.
Yeah.
Can I just show you something?
You ever seen the SpongeBob movie? Like,
no, he hasn't.
Oh yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
MCU expert says Marvel already put references of it in Moon Knight? ?
References of Doctor Doom?
I think so. What references are you talking about? Do you think he's going to appear in the end of Moon Knight? What references? I must have missed it. Ramon, do you know what MCU expert he's talking about here? References to.
But share.
What are you
that
bringing up? What are you hijacking my stuff for? What was that saying?
What is happening?
I don't know. I was too busy doing stuff. I didn't even read what that said. What did it say?
It said
something
DC
about
League
Ben Affleck coming back.
Reveals how Ben Affleck might be returning after The Flash. I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
I don't know. Ezra Miller seemed to flash any opportunity of ever bringing back his character. So that's gone.
I'm not saying that Justice League 2 is going to be announced by the end of this year, but Justice League 2 will be announced by the end of this year.
We know. One of y'all motherfuckers shaving your head. MCU
I'm just saying.
Expertise says Seth is going to lose and shave your head. Sorry.
You know what? It's worth it.
It is.
I will shave my head for a Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 announcement.
Seth, will you let me shave your head?
No, absolutely not.
How you gonna? So you're gonna shave your own head instead of coming to my house, letting your dad shave your head carefully. You're gonna shave your head on your own on air.
Yep.
What are you looking around for? Scissors?
I'll show you backstage.
Uh-huh.
He's got a big mirror that can go behind him so he can do the back.
All right. Oh, man. Okay. Gentlemen, that's all the topics that I had on the list to say. Is there anything else you want to add to our Thursday edition of Drive-By News? The suspense is terrible.
What is this?
I think he's
is that a new monitor?
Yeah. No, it's his new computer.
Oh, nice.
It's a new monitor, and the Mac Studio thing comes tomorrow, so that's going to be me setting up, and then that's it really. That's
awesome,
me.
Dude. Well, so now you'll have two monitors, right?
No. I'm getting this one here is an iMac 27, but this is going to go, and I've bought the Mac Studio is like a box. It's like the old.
But can't you keep the monitor?
But it's an old. I suppose I could use it as a second on the side.
Right?
Maybe.
Yeah, because you were having trouble with something the other day because you didn't have two monitors. Yeah.
That's a good point.
All right. Let's see. MCU expert chimes in, says the castle when he desolates his jaw is Doctor Doom Castle, and the boxes in the van say Doctor Doom. ... And we can't see the rest. Really? I'm going to have to rewatch that and catch that. Listen, I don't know about the comics, so I don't know about Doctor Doom's castle. I wouldn't have been able to identify that, but I'm going to take your word on that, MCU expert. And I'm also going to look into the Doctor
I'm going to watch Moon Knight again. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch Moon Knight again.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
Catch up on it. MCU expert, you watch it again. Seth, you watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. And this Sunday, because we do have drive-by news coming this Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, Seth won't be with us. It'll be me and Ramon. And Ramon, I have a special guest I'm going to surprise you with. But Seth, is out doing driving stuff, getting his license. So he won't be there with us, but we will talk spoiler discussion of Moon Knight. What the hell is this? Hey, Phil Collins, chill out.
I don't know what that was about. I don't know what I was doing or why I was doing it.
It's all right. Sometimes the music just hits right, man. It's okay. It's all right. All right. We will be back here this Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Sunday edition. Goes a little bit longer than this one of Drive-By News. With that being said, Seth Draven, the man in front of the curtain. Thanks for being here. Roman from Hit or Miss TV. Please go to the description below, click on Hit or Miss TV, and go subscribe to this fucked up. He won't stop doing this until you subscribe to his channel, okay? Dear God, he'll hurt himself.
That fucking hurt.
Yes, it did. It hurt to watch. All right. All right, MCU Expert, I appreciate it. Everybody, we will see you guys Sunday. Stay trigger happy, my friends. Peace.